morning, good afternoon, everyone. Hi, welcome in. We are just getting started, and thank you for being here today. Thank you for joining me for another class of Elevate Your Mental Health and Wellness. My name is Liz. For those of you who don't know me, I'm a mindset and wellness coach, and I teach people how to manage their minds to improve their self-awareness so that they can create better results in their life. So, in this webinar series of Elevate Your Mental Health and Wellness, we explore many different topics that support emotional and mental well being. This webinar happens every first and last Wednesday of the month. It's a free class and it's about 45 minutes long. So, please use the chat box if you have any questions. Take advantage of today's webinar, learn as much as you can, and it will be helpful if you have a journal or pad out so that you can take some notes if you need to, or participate in some of the exercises that I will be giving you today. All right, so let's go ahead and get started here. We're going to go ahead and move on to the agenda. This is what we're going to be discussing today. We're going to be talking about the discovering your wellness, what that means, what that looks like. We'll be going over the dimensions of wellness. What are the dimensions of wellness? Meaning the areas of your life that are important, that basically help you live a good life, right? Then we're going to take a look at mindfulness skills, what it takes to have strong mindfulness skills, and what poor mindfulness skills can look like. Then we're going to build a how to practice mindfulness. A lot of us may already have a mindfulness routine. Some of us may not, but today we're going to take a look at what are some of the habits that you can start building in your daily routine that are going to help you be more mindful of your day, of your actions. And then last but not least, I'll give you guys a short exercise so that you can create a self-care routine for yourself. You get to walk away with a self-care routine today. So that is my goal for us. If you have any questions, please drop it in the chat. So, also let me know where are you calling in from or joining us from. I'd like to know where everyone is joining in from. I am based in Northern California, and yeah, all right. So, the dimensions of wellness. There are 5 main aspects of personal health, which we're going to go over today. We have physical, emotional, social, spiritual, and intellectual. Right? Today we're going to go over the physical, emotional, social, and intellectual aspects of our wellness. And it's important for us to understand what they are so that we know where we can make some improvements on. It's important that none of these areas of our life are neglected. Because when one area of your life is off, the others will notice, right? The other areas might start to notice the imbalance between all your areas of your life. So to give you an example, there was once a point in my life where I was highly stressed and anxious. I was working a corporate job, and I was successful in my eyes because I had finally reached a point in my career where I had felt successful. But underneath that, I was highly stressed and anxious. So my mental and physical health were not were not healthy. They were not on point. So when I realized that, I knew I had to make changes, and it got to the point where my mental and physical health started taking a toll on me, and it started affecting my performance at work. That's why it's really important that you understand what all the different life areas of your life are and know where you might be falling short in. Let's go ahead and dive into what they look like specifically. So your physical health. Your physical health includes taking care of your body to stay healthy in the present moment and in the future as well. So physical, meaning you are, whether that looks like moving your body every day or having a set of habits that are going to help support that physical health. Maybe it's eating nutritious food, maybe it's getting enough exercise. Whatever that looks like for you, it's as long as you're caring for your body so that you can keep it healthy and running, right? Because like our body is like an engine that needs to be fueled up with food, with energy, things that give it fuel. So a quick little exercise to do right now is to take a moment to rate on a scale of 1 to 10, how satisfied are you with your physical health today? With 1 being not satisfied, you need to make some changes immediately. 10 being I'm satisfied with my physical health. I'm doing everything that I can. I'm satisfied. Go ahead and rate that. And drop it in the chat box. I'd like to know where we're all at today. Of course, there's always room for improvement. And emotional health. So emotional health, when you have that, you understand and respect your feelings, your values, and your attitudes. You appreciate the feelings of others as well, not only your own, but others as well. You understand how to manage your emotions in a very constructive way, in a healthy way. You know how to process the difficult emotions as well. Feeling positive and enthusiastic about your life. So all these important things will build up your emotional health, and it's very important that you understand what they are and what emotional health is made up of. So take another moment and rate on a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being the least satisfied, 10 being the most satisfied, on how you feel about your emotional health today. I'm going to give it just a few seconds so that you are able to rate that, whether that's on a piece of paper or in your head. I can say that for me personally, there's always room for improvement. I know at the moment I have habits built into my daily life that support both my physical and emotional health, but I know I can do better in some areas. So, and that's being self-aware. Okay, moving on to the next slide here. We're going to take a look at social and intellectual. Okay, so when you have social health, it's really about maintaining healthy relationships, enjoying being around others, developing healthy friendships, intimate relations, caring about other people's feelings, and letting others care about you as well, because you matter as well. So that's what your social health would look like, what it embodies. Just maintaining healthy relationships with others, and most importantly, with yourself. Your intellectual health can look like growing intellectually, maintaining curiosity about anything that you want to learn, valuing lifelong learning, and responding positively to intellectual challenges. Right? We all have daily challenges that we go through, and what really makes a difference in how we're able to overcome any challenges is the way we think about things, right? Our mindset. So intellectually, when you are on a healthy level, you understand what your capabilities are, you know that you can grow and learn, and you are able to respond to challenges in a positive way. Intellectual health also means expanding your knowledge and your skills while discovering the potential for sharing your gifts and your talents with others. Understanding who you are as a person, what you have to offer to the world, and willing to be open-minded to expand your knowledge. So again, take a moment right now to rate your social and intellectual health on a scale of 1 to 10. Where are you at? Where do you fall today? And I'm just going to pause for a second just to see if anyone has any questions. Okay, if not, let's get moving on to the next slide. Mindfulness skills. I want to take a moment to talk about mindfulness. I think it's really important to understand what mindfulness is because mindfulness is a very powerful practice that we can build into our lives that are going to help us become not only more present in our day to day tasks, but more aware of ourselves, more aware of what we're thinking, how we're feeling, what we are doing. Mindfulness is a practice to be in the present moment and to have full awareness of what's going on around you. That's really what mindfulness is. Mindfulness helps you slow down, it helps you make better decisions, it helps you become more aware of what you're thinking, how you're feeling, and how you're acting, and how all those three components relate to one another, how they affect one another. So, to give you a comparison between what strong mindfulness skills look like versus poor mindfulness skills, you know you have strong mindfulness skills when you are very aware of your actions and have control over your decisions. Okay? Um, if you have strong mindfulness skills, you feel relaxed and at ease and you're focused. So that means whatever you're doing in the moment, you're fully present. You know you are fully engaged on that one task and you feel at ease. You're not feeling stressed, you're not feeling anxious, you're at ease, you understand what you're doing, and you can focus on the task at hand. That's the difference. That's what strong mindfulness skills look like. On the other hand, if your mindfulness skills are on the poor side, you tend to make mistakes because you're not aware of your actions. So this can mean that maybe you're on autopilot all the time. If you find yourself being on autopilot, just going through your day, doing the same thing over and over again, and not fully being present in what you're doing, not aware of your actions, and you find yourself making mistakes, that is a sign that your mindfulness is at a low point. Okay. You can also become forgetful and easily miss important dates, schedules, or people if you're not being mindful. And of course, you're not able to focus well on your work. So, to give you an example of what that might look like is, let's say you're driving on you're driving on your way to work, and in your head you're already thinking about all the things you have to do once you get to work, the conversations that you need to have, and the busy day that you have ahead of you. And then all of a sudden you start daydreaming, but you're still driving, you're on autopilot, and you run a red light. I'm guilty, I've done that before. And so that is an example of not being fully present and being in autopilot, which tells you that that is not being mindful at all. And it happens. I think we've all been there where we have found ourselves doing something on autopilot, not being aware of what's really going on around us. There we go. So next I'm going to show you how you can start building a practice for mindfulness. And really, what are the 3 steps that you need to take to start being more mindful? The first thing is you want to remember that mindfulness is really about bringing your attention and your focus to one thing, right? One thing only. This can look like you washing dishes. I don't know if anyone ever takes the time to wash the dishes. I know I really don't like washing dishes, but I know it has to get done. But it's a really good way to practice mindfulness. If you go to your sink and you start washing your dishes and you really become mindful of the moment, it may look like you kind of noticing how you're scrubbing the dishes and you're noticing the water fall out of the faucet and you're just kind of feeling the water run through your hands. You start kind of noticing the things that are going around, that are happening around you. That's being mindful. That is being mindful. So focusing on one task at a time. Moving your attention mindfully from one task to another task without going on autopilot mode. So transitioning from washing the dishes to maybe going to fold your laundry you can do that in a mindful way. It is possible to do that in a mindful way. And it really is just making sure that you're focusing on one task at a time. You're not washing the dishes and listening to a podcast. You're just washing the dishes, right? And it can look like going from your kitchen sink from washing the dishes to going to your room to fold the laundry and doing that only without being on autopilot, meaning you're aware of what's going on around you, what your actions are. Another way is to practice sitting in a meditation technique, such as breathing meditation. And this really, really enhances your concentration. So some of us may already have a meditation technique, some of us may not, but you can definitely try it. I would recommend, if you're new to meditation, to time yourself for maybe a minute long. Start small and then kind of work your way up every other week, increasing the amount of time that you sit in meditation. It is a really great practice to have so that it can improve your concentration. All right, so I want to dive into talking about mental health because today's topic has everything to do with mental health. When you have good mental health, you can cope with the normal stresses of life. What that means is, regardless of the daily challenges that you may have going on, you understand how to manage your emotions. You understand how to process your emotions and still be able to get through your days. Good mental health is about being able to process emotions, all of them, not just the negative ones, the positive ones too. Mental health includes our emotional, psychological, and social well-being. It affects how we think, feel, and act. I always tell my clients who I work with that the most important thing you can do for your mental health is to build your self-awareness. Everyone should have high self-awareness. When you are fully aware of your thoughts, your emotions, and your actions, you understand that whatever you're thinking affects how you feel, and your feelings drive your actions. So if you are unhappy with a result in your life, go back and take a look at, well, what caused me to do this? Was it because I was feeling a certain way? Well, then what was I thinking in the moment? Most of our actions are influenced by our thoughts, really. So it's really important to have that awareness. I want you to take a moment to rate your mental health. How would you rate your own mental well-being on a scale of 1 to 10 today? With 1 being needs immediate work, and 10 being it's good, it's excellent. I've never met anyone who has ever told me that their mental health is perfect, because everyone has issues that they might be going through. But the real question is, what are you currently doing to improve your mental health, right? What sort of habits do you have in your life that are supporting your mental health? What sort of beliefs are supporting your mental health? Something to make a note of. Okay, moving on here. So next up, I am going to walk you through creating a self-care routine. I've actually I actually did this a few weeks ago, and it has been really working great for me. A self-care routine. So this is really about taking the time to write down what an ideal self-care routine looks like. And by ideal, I mean something that you want to live by, something that you want to consistently do in your day, relating to self-care. So thinking about, what does an ideal self-care routine look like? What would a low energy self-care look like? And then what would in a rush self-care routine look like? So let me give you an example here. A few weeks ago, I took the time to write down my ideal self-care routine. And what that looked like was getting up first thing in the morning to go make myself a cup of coffee, because I have to have my cup of coffee. That's my morning habit. It makes me feel good. It boosts my mood. It tastes good. Then after that, going to sit down and journaling for 5 minutes. I love to write, and journaling my thoughts really helps me not only build my self-awareness, but it helps me de-stress. Like if I'm having a lot of negative thoughts or worries, I sit down and I just write whatever comes to mind, and it kind of helps declutter my mind. Then go for a run, right? Moving my body is really important to me, whether it's going for a run, going to the gym, whatever that looks like. It can look completely different for everyone. So moving your body, that is ideal in my routine. Then walking my dog. I love my dog. I understand, he needs his exercise too. So walking him is going to be part of my ideal self-care routine. Checking my emails before heading to work is really important to me, because I like to be on top of what has been coming in. I like to check my calendar on a daily basis, because that tells me what it is that I need to do, what I should be prepared for. And so this is ideally the self-care routine that I like to have in my day, because not only does it make me feel good, not only does it give me energy and helps me de-stress, but all these habits built into my ideal self-care routine are working. Somehow they all contribute to my health and wellness goals. Going for a run is means keeping my body healthy. Walking my dog is making sure that I'm taking care of others. Getting some journaling down, it helps me, because one day I want to be a writer. So getting that practice in is going to make a difference in the long run. Getting my cup of coffee just makes me happy. It gives me joy. So that is an example of my ideal self-care routine. I want you to think about what that would look like for you. What would an ideal self-care routine look like for you? Something that you want to consistently live by, and do. And think about, what are the habits that would contribute to my health and wellness goals. So now, moving on to the next column, low energy. So as we all know, things don't always go our way, right? Sometimes we have unexpected changes that happen. Sometimes we don't get enough sleep the night before because maybe we had a very long day. And we might wake up feeling really tired, or we just might be snoozing our alarm, right? We have low energy in the day. So and a low energy routine would look like doing the bare minimum, things that should still get done because they're very important, um, but maybe just doing the bare minimum. So, for example, making my cup of coffee would, one, give me energy, right? That always does. It gives me a little boost of energy. Um, Getting 5 minutes of stretch because maybe I'm feeling really tired and all I need to do instead of going out for a run, I'm gonna stretch. I'm still moving my body in some way. I'm gonna walk my dog because that still needs to happen. My dog needs his exercise too. So that's an example of a low energy self-care routine. You're kind of doing the bare minimum, but you're still making sure that what you're doing is going to, one, make you feel good. It's going to some way contribute to your health and wellness goals, and you're getting the important stuff done. In a rush can look like this. In a rush can look like just making myself a cup of coffee and walking my dog. Sometimes we are in a rush. We wake up late, and we realize we only have 30 minutes to get ready. 30 minutes for me looks like just making myself a cup of coffee, getting changed for the day, and then walking my dog. And unfortunately, I don't get to move my body. I don't get to do all the other ideal stuff. But at least I have coffee to get me going through the day. And what's really, really important is to walk my dog because I love my dog. So I hope that was helpful for you. I want you to, take a screenshot of this if you need to. But I want you to create your own self-care routine that you can use as a reference when, one, you're feeling low on energy. You're like, all right, I'm tired today. I'm just going to do the bare minimum, but I'm going to make sure that I'm still doing something that's going to give me that momentum. Or if you're in a rush and you're like, I don't know what to do, what do I have time for? Well, take a look at the things that you wrote down. Here are the things that I'm going to do when I'm in a rush. And then, of course, having your ideal self-care routine, which is really what you want to live by every day. It's not possible because we do have days that don't go our way, right? Okay, so any questions there? If you have any questions, any comments, please drop it in the chat box. If not, that is okay. All right, so that is the last part of our webinar today. The last thing that I want to share with you is an opportunity to work with me. So as you know, I'm a mindset and wellness coach, and I have a 10-week coaching program. This 10-week coaching program is specifically for those who want to elevate their mind and their life. Whether that looks like shifting your perspective so that you're able to take full control of your life and own it confidently, or maybe it's building a peace of mind, knowing that you are very, very clear about the direction you want to go in, about your goals, about what's important to you, and what you need to do to get there. Maybe it's you want to stop second guessing yourself. You want to stop doubting yourself and your abilities. And you want to start living by your true potential. And with that, improving your self-confidence so that you're able to make better decisions, take more action, right? So that's what this 10-week coaching program is all about, is just taking you to the next level of your life, shifting your mindset so that you start creating better results in your life. A lot of the things that we create in our life are based on our beliefs, our way of thinking, our habits. And in this coaching program, I cover all of that. I teach you how to shift, how to make a shift in your mindset so that you can start creating the results that you want to see. So this is an opportunity to work with me. If you're interested to learn more about coaching and how that can help you, I'm going to drop my calendar link below so that you have access to it and you can book a chat with me, so that if you have any questions around how that works, around coaching, we can hop on a coffee chat online. I can share you more about the program and you can let me know what you want to work on, what are your goals, what does that look like for you, and we can see how we can work together. So I just dropped the link to my calendar. I'm also going to drop the link to my Facebook group. If you're not already part of the Facebook group, it's a good way to stay in touch of all the events that I have coming up. Okay, and so if you are interested in working with me, just click on that calendar link. We can set up a time to meet via Zoom and just talk about what it is that you want to work on, what are your challenges, what are your goals, and how will the 10-week coaching program help you get there. In the 10-week coaching program, we do meet once a week via Zoom, and for about 45 to 60 minutes, we just coach. I coach you on the things that you're having challenges on. I coach you how to start shifting your mindset and how to start taking different actions to create better results in your life. All right, so if no one has any questions, then we will go ahead and end the webinar. Thank you so much for joining me today. Hope you all have a great day.